5 centuries had passed since the small human colony was lost on the distant planet of Acheron. Cut off from the rest of humanity, the colonists had faded into obscurity, their very existence becoming a mere footnote in the annals of history. On the bustling streets of the capital city Solaris, a young explorer named Kara made her way through the crowded marketplace. As she navigated the maze of vendors and shoppers, something caught her eye. An ancient-looking datapad lying amidst a pile of discarded items. Curious, she picked it up and began to examine it. To her astonishment, the device contained fragments of long-forgotten records, hinting at the existence of a human settlement light years away from Acheron. Kara's heart raced with excitement as she realized the implications of her discovery. Could this be the proof she had been searching for, the key to unlocking the mystery of the lost colony? Kara hurried back to the Explorers Guild, where she presented her findings to the senior officials. At first, they were skeptical of her claims, dismissing the datapad as a mere curiosity. However, Kara's persistence and the intriguing clues she had uncovered slowly began to sway their opinions. After weeks of meticulous investigation and cross-referencing, the Guild assembled a team of experienced explorers to mount an expedition to the coordinates provided in the ancient records. Kara, thrilled to be part of this historic journey, joined the crew as they prepared to embark on a perilous voyage into the unknown. The journey was long and arduous, with the explorers navigating through treacherous asteroid fields and dodging hostile alien patrols. As they drew closer to their destination, the tension aboard the spacecraft grew palpable. What would they find on the distant planet? Were the colonists still alive, or had they met a tragic fate? Finally, after months of travel, the explorers' spacecraft broke through the atmosphere of a lush, verdant world. Kara peered out the viewport, her breath catching in her throat as she caught sight of a sprawling metropolis below. The city's gleaming spires and intricate infrastructure were unlike anything she had ever seen, hinting at a level of technological advancement far beyond what the modern human civilization had achieved. As the explorers landed their craft and stepped out onto the alien soil, they were greeted by a group of curious yet wary individuals. These people, with their striking features and elegant attire, were unmistakably human, yet their mannerisms and the way they carried themselves suggested a culture vastly different from the one Kara had known. The leader of the delegation, a woman named Astra, approached the explorers with a guarded expression. "Welcome to Arcadia," she said, her voice tinged with a hint of caution. "We have been isolated from the rest of humanity for many generations. Who are you, and how have you found your way to our world?" Kara stepped forward, her eyes shining with wonder and excitement. "We are explorers from the planet Acheron," she replied, "and we have come to learn of your people and your history. For centuries, we believed your colony had been lost, but now we have found you." Astra's brow furrowed, and she exchanged a glance with the others in her group. "Lost," she echoed, her tone laced with confusion. "We have never heard of this Acheron you speak of. We are the people of Arcadia, descendants of the original colonists who were sent here centuries ago." As the two groups faced each other, a palpable sense of unease and uncertainty hung in the air. The explorers from Acheron had stumbled upon a lost chapter of human history, one that had been hidden from the rest of the galaxy for generations. What secrets did the people of Arcadia hold, and how would this chance encounter shape the future of both civilizations? The initial encounter between the explorers from Acheron and the people of Arcadia was marked by a palpable sense of unease and uncertainty. Both groups were puzzled by the revelation that the other existed, their very existence a mystery to one another. As the days passed, however, a tentative rapport began to form between the two parties. Kara, the young explorer from Acheron, was particularly eager to learn about the Arcadians and their history. She spent countless hours conversing with Astra, the leader of the Arcadian delegation, trying to piece together the story of how their ancestors had become separated from the rest of humanity. Through these discussions, Kara learned that the Arcadians were the descendants of a small colony that had been sent to the distant planet centuries ago. Cut off from the rest of the human civilization, they had developed their own unique culture and advanced their technology in isolation. The once modest colony had grown into a sprawling, technologically sophisticated society, with towering cities, advanced transportation networks, and a level of scientific understanding that far surpassed Acheron's own capabilities. Astra, in turn, was equally intrigued by the explorers' accounts of their home world. The concept of a thriving human civilization on a distant planet called Acheron was entirely foreign to her and her people. She listened, enraptured, as Kara described the bustling cities, the advanced spaceships, and the interconnected network of colonies that spanned the galaxy. As the explorers' stay on Arcadia lengthened, the Arcadians became increasingly fascinated by the visitors from Acheron. They marveled at the explorers' advanced technology, which, despite its sophistication, still paled in comparison to their own. Astra and her advisors began to contemplate the implications of this chance encounter. Could it be the key to unlocking a connection to their long-lost ancestral home? Kara, too, could not shake the growing sense of wonder and excitement. The Arcadians' level of technological and cultural advancement was truly astonishing, and she longed to share this discovery with the people of Acheron. Perhaps, through this connection, the two civilizations could forge a new chapter in human history, one that would transcend the barriers of time and distance that had kept them apart for so long. With a renewed sense of purpose, Kara and the Arcadian delegation began to plan a daring mission, a voyage to Acheron, the ancestral home of their people. The journey would be long and perilous, fraught with unknown dangers and challenges, but the potential rewards were incalculable. As the preparations for the expedition took shape, the Arcadians worked tirelessly to equip their visitors with the necessary resources and technology to undertake the arduous journey. Kara marveled at the advanced propulsion systems, the sophisticated navigational tools, and the seamless integration of artificial intelligence that powered the Arcadian spacecraft. She knew that with this level of technological sophistication, the explorers from Acheron would stand a far better chance of surviving the treacherous voyage through the uncharted reaches of space. Finally, the day of departure arrived, and the Arcadian delegation, accompanied by Kara and a handful of her fellow explorers, boarded the sleek, futuristic spacecraft. As the engines roared to life and the craft rose into the sky, a sense of both excitement and trepidation filled the air. They were about to embark on a journey that would not only reunite them with their long-lost ancestral home, but also potentially reshape the course of human history. The vast, unknown expanse of space lay before them, a daunting challenge that would test the limits of their courage, their resourcefulness, and their technological prowess. But the Arcadians and the explorers from Acheron were undaunted, driven by a shared sense of purpose and a desire to forge a new path for their people, one that would bridge the gap between the forgotten colony and the modern human civilization. As the Arcadian spacecraft carrying the delegation and the explorers from Acheron lifted off into the vast expanse of space, a palpable sense of excitement and trepidation filled the air. The journey they were about to undertake would not only reunite them with their long-lost ancestral home, but also potentially reshape the course of human history. Kara, the young explorer from Acheron, stood at the viewport, her eyes fixed on the rapidly shrinking planet below. She had been entrusted by her fellow explorers to act as a liaison between the two groups, leveraging her growing familiarity with Arcadian culture and technology to ensure the success of their mission. As the spacecraft hurtled through the void, Kara spent countless hours in conversation with Astra, the leader of the Arcadian delegation. Together, they pored over star charts and navigational data, meticulously planning the route that would guide them to the distant world of Acheron. The journey, however, was far from smooth sailing. The vastness of space was fraught with peril, from treacherous asteroid fields to the ever-present threat of hostile alien vessels. The Arcadian spacecraft, though technologically advanced, was not invulnerable, and the crew had to remain vigilant at all times. Tensions began to mount as the weeks turned into months, and the explorers grew increasingly wary of the unknown challenges that lay ahead. Kara, despite her best efforts, found it difficult to maintain a sense of optimism as the crew grappled with equipment malfunctions, navigational errors, and the ever-present specter of fuel depletion. Astra, sensing the growing unease among her fellow Arcadians, sought to bolster their morale. She held regular gatherings, where the crew would share stories of their homeworld, reminiscing about the lush landscapes, the bustling cities, and the rich cultural traditions that had sustained them for generations. These moments of respite, however, were fleeting. As the spacecraft ventured deeper into the unknown, the crew encountered a series of unexpected phenomena that tested the limits of their knowledge and technology. Cosmic storms, wormholes, and mysterious energy fields threatened to throw them off course, and the Arcadian engineers worked tirelessly to adapt their systems to the ever-changing conditions. Kara, caught in the middle of this high-stakes endeavor, found herself torn between her loyalty to her fellow explorers from Acheron and her growing admiration for the resilience and ingenuity of the Arcadian crew. She marveled at the way they seamlessly integrated their advanced artificial intelligence systems with the ship's operations, anticipating and responding to challenges with a level of coordination that seemed almost effortless. As the journey wore on, the crew began to form an unlikely bond, forged in the face of adversity. Kara, once an outsider, found herself being welcomed into the Arcadian community, her unique perspective and insights becoming increasingly valuable to the success of the mission. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of navigating the treacherous expanse of space, the Arcadian spacecraft emerged from a particularly turbulent wormhole, and Kara's breath caught in her throat. There, in the distance, shimmering like a jewel against the backdrop of the stars, was the familiar blue and green orb of Acheron, the long-lost ancestral home of both the Arcadians and the explorers. The crew erupted into a chorus of excited chatter, their voices mingling with the hum of the spacecraft's engines as they prepared for the final leg of their journey. Kara, her heart racing with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation, knew that the true test was yet to come. What would they find on Acheron, and how would the modern human civilization react to the arrival of this unexpected delegation from the distant past? As the spacecraft drew closer to the planet, Kara couldn't help but wonder how the events that were about to unfold would shape the future of both their civilizations. The long-lost colony had been rediscovered, and now the stage was set for a momentous reunion, one that could either bring the two worlds together or drive them irrevocably apart. As the Arcadian spacecraft descended through the atmosphere of Acheron, Kara and the rest of the crew gazed out the viewport in awe. The planet, though familiar to the explorers from Acheron, had undergone a remarkable transformation since the colony's departure centuries ago. Sprawling metropolises dotted the continents, their gleaming towers and intricate infrastructure a testament to the technological advancements that had taken place in their absence. Kara marveled at the sight, her mind racing with questions about the fate of her long-lost home. Astra, the leader of the Arcadian delegation, turned to Kara, her expression a blend of curiosity and trepidation. "This is the world your ancestors called home?" she asked, her voice tinged with a hint of wonder. Kara nodded, her eyes scanning the horizon. "Yes, this is Acheron, the birthplace of our species. But it's changed so much since the colony was lost." She paused, her brow furrowing. "I wonder what kind of reception we'll receive." The Arcadian spacecraft touched down in a vast spaceport on the outskirts of a bustling city, its arrival drawing the attention of the local authorities. Within moments, a contingent of armed guards approached the craft, their weapons at the ready. Kara and Astra emerged from the spacecraft, their hands raised in a gesture of peaceful intent. "We come in peace," Astra called out, her voice clear and steady. "We are the descendants of the lost Arcadian colony, and we seek to reconnect with our ancestral home." The guards, initially wary, slowly lowered their weapons, their expressions shifting from one of suspicion to one of awe and disbelief. Word of the Arcadian delegation's arrival quickly spread, and soon a crowd of curious onlookers had gathered, all eager to catch a glimpse of the mysterious visitors. As the Arcadians stepped out onto the unfamiliar soil of Acheron, they were struck by the sheer scale and complexity of the human civilization that had flourished in their absence. Towering skyscrapers, advanced transportation networks, and bustling commercial districts all bore witness to the remarkable progress that had been made over the centuries. Kara, acting as a liaison between the two groups, began to facilitate communication and negotiations. The authorities of Acheron, initially wary of the Arcadian delegation, slowly warmed to the idea of reconnecting with their long-lost kin. They were fascinated by the Arcadians' level of technological sophistication, which far surpassed their own, and eager to learn more about the culture and history of the forgotten colony. For the Arcadians, the return to Acheron was a profound and emotional experience. They had grown up hearing stories of their ancestral home, but to actually stand on its soil, to witness the thriving civilization that had emerged in their absence, was both overwhelming and humbling. As the negotiations progressed, the Arcadians shared their knowledge and technology, eager to forge a new alliance with their distant cousins. The authorities of Acheron, in turn, welcomed the Arcadian delegation with open arms, seeing in them the potential to unlock new avenues of scientific and cultural exchange. Kara, caught in the middle of this historic reunion, found herself acting as a bridge between the two civilizations. Her understanding of both Arcadian and Acheronese culture proved invaluable, as she navigated the complexities of diplomatic protocol and facilitated the exchange of information and resources. As the initial formalities gave way to more relaxed interactions, the people of Acheron and the Arcadians began to forge personal connections, sharing stories and traditions that had been passed down through the generations. Families were reunited, long-lost histories were uncovered, and a sense of shared identity began to take root. For Kara, witnessing this momentous event was both exhilarating and bittersweet. She knew that the reunification of the two civilizations would have far-reaching consequences, both for the people of Acheron and for the Arcadians who had carved out a life for themselves on a distant world. But as she saw the joy and wonder on the faces of those around her, she couldn't help but feel a deep sense of hope and optimism for the future. The stage was set for a new era of cooperation and exchange between the two worlds, one that would forever change the course of human history. And at the heart of it all, Kara stood, a testament to the power of exploration, the resilience of the human spirit, and the boundless potential that lies in the reconnection of long-lost kin. As the reunification of the Arcadians and the people of Acheron progressed, a sense of cautious optimism filled the air. The two civilizations, long separated by the vast expanse of space and time, were finally coming together, forging new connections and laying the groundwork for a future of unprecedented cooperation. However, this delicate moment of reconnection was not to last. For in the depths of the galaxy, a powerful alien civilization had taken notice of the strange turn of events unfolding on the distant world of Acheron. The Volturi, a technologically advanced race known for their insatiable curiosity and their fierce territorial instincts, had been monitoring the activities of human settlements across the cosmos. When their long-range sensors detected the arrival of the Arcadian spacecraft, they were immediately intrigued. The Volturi had long assumed that humanity was a relatively primitive species, confined to a handful of isolated colonies and outposts. The sudden appearance of this mysterious, highly capable delegation, seemingly from out of nowhere, challenged their beliefs and sparked their interest. Dispatching a fleet of advanced scout ships, the Volturi set out to investigate this unprecedented development. As they approached the system housing Acheron, their sensors detected the presence of a vast and sophisticated human civilization, one that far exceeded their expectations. The Volturi commander, a calculating and pragmatic individual named Shyrak, studied the data with a mix of fascination and trepidation. "This changes everything," he murmured, his brow furrowed in deep thought. "We must proceed with caution. On Acheron, the joyous reunification between the Arcadians and the people of the planet was abruptly interrupted by the arrival of the Volturi fleet. Kara, who had become a vital bridge between the two human civilizations, quickly alerted the authorities, her face etched with a mixture of fear and determination. "We have visitors," she announced, her voice tense. "Advanced alien ships have entered the system, and they're heading straight for us." The leaders of Acheron sprang into action, mobilizing their military forces and initiating a series of emergency protocols. They had been caught off guard by the sudden appearance of this alien presence, and they knew that the delicate diplomatic balance they had built with the Arcadians could be shattered in an instant. Astra, the Arcadian delegation leader, stepped forward, her eyes narrowed in concentration. "We must not provoke them," she said firmly. "Our technology may be advanced, but we cannot risk a confrontation with an alien civilization we know so little about." Kara nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "Then we must find a way to communicate, to establish a dialogue and show them that we mean no harm," she said, her mind racing with potential strategies. As the Volturi ships drew closer, the authorities of Acheron and the Arcadian delegation prepared to meet them, their hearts pounding with a mixture of trepidation and determination. They knew that the fate of their two civilizations hung in the balance, and that the outcome of this first contact could shape the course of human history for generations to come. The stage was set for a delicate diplomatic dance, one that would test the limits of their negotiation skills and their ability to navigate the complexities of interstellar politics. Kara, caught in the middle of this high-stakes confrontation, steeled herself for the challenges that lay ahead, her mind filled with a sense of both dread and anticipation. What would the Volturi make of this unexpected discovery? Would they view the reunited human civilizations as a threat to their own dominance, or could a mutually beneficial relationship be forged? The answers to these questions would soon become clear as the two worlds collided in a moment of profound significance and far-reaching consequences. As the Volturi fleet drew closer to Acheron, the tension on the planet reached a fevered pitch. The leaders of the reunited human civilizations, guided by Kara's diplomatic expertise, worked tirelessly to establish a line of communication with the alien visitors. Astra, the Arcadian delegation leader, stood at the forefront of the negotiations, her posture and demeanor exuding a calm confidence that belied the uncertainty churning within. She knew that the fate of both Acheron and Arcadia hung in the balance, and that any misstep could have catastrophic consequences. The Volturi commander, Shirok, regarded the human representatives with a cool, calculated gaze. His species was not accustomed to encountering other intelligent civilizations, and he was wary of the potential threat they posed to Volturi dominance in the galaxy. "We have come to assess the nature and capabilities of your people," Shirok stated, his voice devoid of emotion. "You have technology and resources that intrigue us, and we wish to understand how you have obtained such advanced knowledge." Astra, ever the diplomat, responded in a measured tone. "We are the descendants of a human colony that was lost centuries ago. We have developed our own unique culture and technological prowess, but we mean you no harm. We seek only to peacefully coexist and learn from one another." Shirok's eyes narrowed, and for a moment, the air in the room seemed to grow heavy with unspoken tension. "Your claims are intriguing, but we have not encountered other human civilizations of this scale before. You must understand our hesitation to trust your motives." The negotiations, which had begun with a tentative sense of cooperation, soon descended into a tense diplomatic standoff. Both sides dug in, unwilling to compromise or concede ground, as they maneuvered for position and advantage. Kara, serving as the liaison between the Arcadians and the people of Acheron, found herself caught in the middle of this delicate dance. She could see the merits in both the human and Volturi perspectives, and she knew that a misstep could have catastrophic consequences. As the hours turned into days, the negotiations grew increasingly heated, with both sides accusing the other of deception and subterfuge. The Volturi, suspicious of the humans' advanced technology and growing influence, demanded concessions and assurances that the Arcadians and Acheronese were unwilling to provide. Tensions reached a boiling point when the Volturi made a bold demand that the human civilization submit to a series of military and technological inspections, ostensibly to ensure their peaceful intentions. The Arcadians and Acheronese, outraged by this proposal, refused, citing their right to sovereignty and self-determination. Shyrock, his patience wearing thin, issued an ultimatum. Either the humans comply with the Volturi's demands, or they would be considered a threat to be eliminated. The stage was set for a potentially devastating confrontation, with the fate of the human species hanging in the balance. Kara, her heart racing, knew that she had to act quickly to prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. Drawing upon her knowledge of both human and Volturi cultures, she began to formulate a daring plan, one that could potentially break the deadlock and avert a catastrophic conflict. As the Volturi ships prepared to take aggressive action, Kara stepped forward, her voice confident and clear. "Commander Shyrock, we understand your concerns, but we believe there is a way to resolve this conflict without resorting to violence. Allow us to propose an alternative that benefits both our peoples." Shyrock, intrigued despite his better judgment, nodded, signaling Kara to continue. It was a pivotal moment, one that would test the limits of her diplomatic skills and her ability to navigate the treacherous waters of interstellar politics. The future of the human race hung in the balance, and Kara was determined to find a way to secure a peaceful resolution. The diplomatic standoff between the human civilizations of Acheron and Arcadia and the alien Volturi had reached a critical juncture. Tensions were high, and the threat of a devastating confrontation loomed large over the proceedings. Kara, the young liaison who had played a crucial role in brokering the initial contact between the two parties, knew that she had to act quickly to prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. Drawing upon her deep understanding of both human and Volturi culture, she had proposed a daring alternative to the Volturi's ultimatum, one that held the promise of a peaceful resolution. As Shyrock, the Volturi commander, considered Kara's proposal, a tense silence filled the air. The leaders of Acheron and Arcadia, their faces etched with a mixture of apprehension and cautious optimism, waited with bated breath for the alien's response. Finally, Shyrock spoke, his words measured and deliberate. "Your proposal is intriguing," he conceded, his gaze fixed on Kara. "However, we must be assured of your sincerity and the integrity of your intentions. Any deception or subterfuge will be met with the full force of the Volturi might." Astra, the Arcadian delegation leader, stepped forward, her posture unwavering. "You have our word, Commander Shyrock. We seek only peaceful coexistence and the opportunity to learn from one another. If you are willing to trust us, we are prepared to move forward with your proposed terms." Kara could feel the tension in the room slowly begin to dissipate as the two sides inched closer to an agreement. The path forward was fraught with challenges and potential pitfalls, but the prospect of avoiding a catastrophic conflict was a powerful incentive for both parties to work towards a mutually beneficial solution. As the negotiations progressed, the Volturi began to share their own technological and scientific knowledge with the humans, recognizing the value of forging an alliance with this newly discovered civilization. In turn, the Arcadians and the people of Acheron shared their own hard-won advancements, eager to establish a foundation of mutual understanding and respect. However, the fragile peace was not to last. Unbeknownst to the diplomats, a faction of Volturi hardliners had grown increasingly dissatisfied with Shyrock's approach, seeing it as a betrayal of their species' long-held beliefs and dominance in the galaxy. Without warning, this rogue Volturi group launched a devastating attack on the human homeworld of Acheron, their advanced weaponry and sheer numbers overwhelming the planet's defenses. The once vibrant cities were reduced to rubble, and the cries of the terrified populace filled the air. Kara, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination, rushed to the side of the Arcadian and Acheronese leaders. "We must act quickly," she exclaimed, her voice laced with urgency. Our only chance is to combine the might of our advanced fleets and push back against the Volturi invasion. Astra and the leaders of Acheron needed no further convincing. They mobilized their forces, drawing upon the Arcadians' superior technology and the Acherones' formidable military capabilities. Together, they launched a counteroffensive, their spacecraft engaging the Volturi fleet in a brutal, high-stakes battle for the fate of their civilizations. The skies above Acheron erupted in a dazzling display of weapons fire, as the two sides clashed in a desperate struggle for dominance. The Volturi, their numbers bolstered by the rogue faction, fought with a ferocity born of their belief in their own superiority. But the combined might of the human fleets, empowered by their newfound unity and the advanced technology of the Arcadians, proved to be a formidable adversary. As the battle raged on, Kara found herself at the heart of the conflict, her diplomatic skills now put to the ultimate test. She worked tirelessly to coordinate the human forces, channeling the collective knowledge and resources of both Acheron and Arcadia to counter the Volturi's relentless assault. The fate of the human race hung in the balance, and Kara knew that failure was not an option. She steeled her resolve, her determination fueled by the plight of her fellow humans and the vision of a future where the two civilizations could stand together, united and triumphant, in the face of any challenge. The battle for Acheron was a brutal and harrowing affair, but as the smoke cleared, the human forces emerged victorious. The Volturi fleet in shambles, and their rogue faction decisively defeated. The people of Acheron and Arcadia celebrated their hard-won triumph, their spirits lifted by the realization that they had forged an unbreakable bond in the crucible of war. Kara, her face etched with a mix of relief and pride, knew that this was only the beginning. The human civilizations had proven their mettle, and now they were poised to take their place as a formidable force in the galactic arena, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The skies above Acheron had been set ablaze with the clashing of human and Volturi forces, a battle that would determine the fate of the two civilizations. Kara, the young liaison who had played a pivotal role in brokering the initial contact between the two sides, found herself at the heart of the conflict, her diplomatic skills now tested to their limits. As the battle raged on, the combined might of the Acheronese and Arcadian fleets proved to be a formidable force, their advanced technology and seamless coordination overwhelming the Volturi's numerical advantage. The rogue faction that had instigated the attack was swiftly neutralized, their ships reduced to drifting debris in the void of space. Shyrock, the Volturi commander, watched in disbelief as his forces crumbled under the onslaught. His carefully laid plans, rooted in the Volturi's belief in their own superiority, had been shattered by the unexpected resilience and ingenuity of the human defenders. Kara, sensing an opportunity to end the conflict, reached out to Shyrock through the chaos of battle. "Commander, this bloodshed serves no one," she pleaded, her voice tinged with a hint of desperation. "Let us end this conflict and work towards a lasting peace, one that benefits both our peoples." Shyrock's expression hardened, his pride refusing to yield. "You humans have proven yourselves to be more formidable than we expected," he growled. "But the Volturi do not simply surrender. If we cannot subjugate you, then we will destroy you." The Volturi commander prepared to unleash a devastating barrage of firepower, intent on obliterating the human forces once and for all. But as his ships readied their weapons, a sudden and unexpected transmission crackled to life across the communication channels. It was Astra, the leader of the Arcadian delegation, her voice calm and resolute. "Commander Shyrock, we understand your reluctance to back down, but the path you have chosen leads only to mutual destruction. If you continue this attack, you will not only destroy us, but you will also lose the chance to forge an alliance that could benefit both our civilizations." Shyrock, his finger poised on the trigger, paused. Astra's words resonated with him, tapping into the pragmatic side of his nature that had initially led him to seek a diplomatic resolution. He knew that the Volturi could not afford the losses that a prolonged conflict would incur, not when they faced other threats and challenges in the wider galaxy. Slowly, the Volturi commander lowered his weapon, his gaze locked with Astra's. "You drive a hard bargain, human," he said, his voice laced with begrudging respect. "But you have shown us that you are a force to be reckoned with. Very well, I will accept your terms, for now." As the Volturi fleet began its withdrawal, the people of Acheron and Arcadia erupted into a chorus of cheers and jubilation. The battle had been won, and the human civilizations had emerged victorious, their newfound unity and resilience serving as a testament to their unwavering determination. Kara, her eyes shining with tears of relief, embraced Astra and the leaders of Acheron. "We did it," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "We've shown the galaxy that we are a force to be reckoned with, and that our two peoples, united, can overcome any challenge." The aftermath of the battle was a bittersweet affair. The cost in lives and infrastructure had been staggering, and the scars of the conflict would take time to heal. But the human civilizations were buoyed by a renewed sense of purpose and a shared vision for the future. Astra, standing tall amidst the rubble, addressed the gathered crowd, her voice ringing with authority and conviction. "Today we have proven that the strength of our unity is greater than the sum of our parts. We have shown the Volturi and the entire galaxy that we are a force to be reckoned with. And now we look towards a future of endless possibilities, where our two peoples can work together to forge a path that will echo through the ages." The people of Acheron and Arcadia cheered, their voices mingling in a triumphant chorus that echoed across the battered landscape. Kara, her heart swelling with pride, knew that this was only the beginning, the first step in a journey that would forever change the course of human history. As the human fleets began the process of rebuilding and fortifying their defenses, they did so with a renewed sense of purpose and optimism. The Volturi had been humbled, and the galaxy had taken notice of the might of the reunited human civilizations. The stage was now set for a new era of exploration, cooperation, and unforeseen challenges that would test the limits of their ingenuity and resilience. The decisive victory over the Volturi invasion had marked a pivotal moment in the history of the reunited human civilizations of Acheron and Arcadia. No longer were they mere shadows of their former selves, lost and forgotten in the vast expanse of space. Now they stood as a formidable force, their combined technological prowess and military might a testament to the power of unity and resilience. As the smoke cleared and the scars of battle began to heal, the leaders of Acheron and Arcadia convened to chart a course for the future. Kara, who had played a crucial role in bridging the gap between the two peoples, was at the forefront of these discussions, her diplomatic expertise and deep understanding of both civilizations proving invaluable. Together, they crafted a bold vision, one that would see the human race reclaim its place as a dominant force in the galactic arena. No longer content to be mere spectators, they would venture forth, establishing new colonies, forging alliances with other intelligent species, and expanding the reach of their influence. "The Volturi have shown us that the galaxy is a dangerous place," Astra declared, her voice brimming with determination. "But we have also proven that when we stand united, we are a force to be reckoned with. Now, it is time for us to take our rightful place among the stars." The people of Acheron and Arcadia embraced this new era with a fervent enthusiasm. The combined resources and expertise of the two civilizations allowed them to rapidly advance their space exploration capabilities, designing sleeker, more powerful spacecraft and developing innovative technologies that would enable them to traverse the vast reaches of the cosmos. As the first wave of colonization efforts began, the human fleets set out, their sights set on distant worlds and unexplored regions of space. Kara, ever the intrepid explorer, volunteered to lead one of the expeditions, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "We stand on the precipice of a new chapter in human history," she said, addressing the crew of her spacecraft. "The journey ahead will be filled with challenges, but I have no doubt that together, we will rise to meet them." The expedition proved to be a resounding success, as the human colonists established thriving settlements on a number of promising worlds. They forged alliances with alien civilizations, sharing their knowledge and technology in exchange for valuable resources and cultural insights. As news of the human resurgence spread throughout the galaxy, other species began to take notice. Some were wary, fearful of the potential threat posed by this resurgent human civilization, while others were eager to establish trade agreements and diplomatic ties. Kara, now a seasoned diplomat and explorer, found herself at the center of these delicate negotiations, her skills honed by the events that had unfolded on Acheron. She navigated the complex web of interstellar politics with a deft touch, always mindful of the need to balance the interests of her own people with the need to foster cooperation and mutual understanding. The human expansion continued unabated, with new colonies springing up across the galaxy. The once forgotten Arcadians, their technological prowess now a source of awe and respect, became integral to the success of these endeavors, their advanced knowledge and innovative spirit fueling the human quest for greatness. As the years passed, the people of Acheron and Arcadia grew ever closer, their shared history and common purpose binding them together in a way that transcended the barriers of time and distance. The once disparate civilizations had become a single, unified force, their collective accomplishments a testament to the power of human ingenuity and resilience. Kara, now a seasoned leader in her own right, stood at the helm of one of the most advanced human fleets, her eyes fixed on the boundless expanse of space that stretched out before her. She knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but she also knew that the human race was more than ready to face them. "The galaxy is ours to conquer," she said, her voice ringing with a quiet confidence. "With the strength of our unity and the boundless potential of our technology, there is no limit to what we can achieve." As the human fleet set out to explore the unknown, Kara couldn't help but feel a sense of both trepidation and excitement. The future was uncertain, but it was also filled with endless possibilities, a canvas upon which the human civilizations could paint their legacy, forging a path that would echo through the ages and inspire generations to come.